about that right now. So let's bring in our beat writer, covers the Clippers, covers the Dodgers as well. Last time he was on the show, got very emotional with the Dodgers. I don't blame him. Now we got to talk about some basketball and the Clippers and James Harden. So joining us from the Sporting Tribune, Grant. First off, introduce yourself to people right now for the NBA season. What is this? Whoa, what was that?
Whoa, you see that? Is that what I have to look? What happens? Oh, nothing. Oh, there it goes again. See, we're just celebrating the James Harden trade. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a lot of Clipper content, guys. I know you saw me talk about the Dodgers. Well, not talk about them. I kind of vented about them, Adrian. But in terms of this trade, it's something they had to do. I know you probably mentioned this, is that it's been an ongoing thing for about 125 days now. It's been a long process. They finally got it done. Something that I didn't expect was it to get done this early. I mean, usually, you should probably mention this too. Usually, you get deals done towards the deadline. Usually, get them done in January or February. They got it done a third game of the season, and I kind of see it as insurance. This is just insurance for the two stars that are always injured. We all know that. Kawhi and Paul George are always hurt. They needed another star. Russell Westbrook, we saw in that first round last year, he can handle a series as the lead guy, but he can't win a series as the lead guy. So they needed some insurance in case somebody goes down. And that's what this James Harden trade was. It was just insurance for a team that needed more. There's teams like Phoenix. There's teams like Denver.
Really quick, was that like a siren going off?
Yeah, you know what? There's sirens everywhere in LA because it just seems like
No,
basketball is back.
yes.
There's sirens everywhere. I mean, goodness gracious, basketball is booming in LA. Look, there's sirens as soon as I talk about James Harden. There's confetti coming down. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, in terms of this deal, the Clippers shipped off some fan favorites. They really did. I mean, these are guys that have been with the team through good runs, but you needed to do it. Yeah, Batum. Fourth quarter yelling "Why Batum in?" There's that line from a rap song. But he's gone. Morris is gone. Covington's gone. They traded away picks. This is all in, Adrian. This is a team that's all in on whatever their destiny may be. But all these guys are on 1-year deals, and they're just going to see where it goes. But for the Clippers, I see it as a win. I do.
Listen, suggestion. You're covering the Clippers, right? You got to get that banner down, bro. We gotta
look at. I was gonna say this isn't my office, so I'm using somebody else's.
I was trying to like I understand what's going on behind the scenes inside baseball for those or for those watching actually on Believe Network. Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk Chris Mattman, Arash Markazi, the Hefes, all right, the bosses. We're gonna make sure we get you a Elton Brand picture.
Ooh.
Post and put over the Lakers stuff because we got you over here covering the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure because I don't want people to screenshot and be like you're a phony, like the Family Guy scene. So
Listen,
we got you covered on that.
I agree with that, but this post right here is for I put it up just because the Lakers finally beat the Clippers after 11 straight losses. So I'll let the Lakers have their fun. They got their one win against us in the last 11 tries. There you go. But anyways, that game yesterday, by the way, that was a fantastic night of basketball. I mean, the Clippers and the Lakers had a shootout. Paul George had 35, Kawhi had 38, LeBron had 30 plus. I mean, that's peak NBA hoops, right, Adrian? That's what you want to see from the NBA.
You also had Westbrook not wanting to give dap to LeBron, which is disrespectful. And honestly, it's like a 3-game suspension. But we'll get to that later. Just to be disrespectful, that's crazy, bro. I heard it's because Russell wanted to be in Space Jam to show his kids, and because he wasn't one of the he's like, you chose Dame Lillard over me.
Yeah, right.
So it's one of those interesting things, right? But no, I want to get serious here for a second. You brought up the 1-year contracts. You look at the construction of this team, like who's going to start games, who's going to close games. What's the rotation? Are they automatically defaulting the small ball? And luckily for them, to their credit, I will actually say right now, to do it this early in the season means Tyronn Lue has an entire season to kind of mess with these pieces to see what works well. Right now, like, how do you see in terms of on the court? Let's go with closing situations. Like, to close out these games, What do you think's the best lineup that the Clippers can put out there?
I think the best lineup you could have is James Harden at point, Terrence Mann at shooting guard. When he comes back, you have Paul George at the 3, Kawhi at the 4, and then you could go with either PJ Tucker at the 5, or you could go with Zubats at the 5. And I think that's the closing lineup for them. I think that Russ is going to be in the starting lineup initially. They're going to see how that fits. But I just think that Russ playing off ball is just Lakers 2.0. I mean, it's really not a recipe for success. Maybe he buys in and starts becoming that slasher cutter, but all these guys need the ball in their hands, and Russ is the one that needs the ball in his hands the most. So putting him next to an ISO-centric guy like James Harden and having Russ play off ball is probably not the best option, because then you might see the Lakers version of him come out, and we do not want to see that. Maybe Laker fans do, but a lot of us don't. In terms of the fit right now, I think they should have James Harden be the shooting guard and have Russell Westbrook be the point guard, just to see how that works, see how Russ can get James Harden involved off ball, because James Harden's a great shooter. Russell Westbrook is not. James Harden is a great point guard in terms of getting guys facilitated, but he's a good shooter as well. Russell Westbrook's just a good facilitator. He can't shoot the ball as well as James Harden. So the fit is a little bit iffy because, as you know, Adrian, there's only one basketball on a court, and there are 4 guys in that starting 5 that need the ball in their hands. We just saw Paul George and Kawhi take over a game. They need the ball in their hands. So the dynamic is questionable. That's why I was initially out on it. But I guess it could work if they all buy in. I don't really.
Well,
We'll have to see.
here's the thing. I know that talking to the media, and the earliest that James is going to play from the Clippers is Monday at the earliest, if not later. So next week. Lawrence Frank, president of the Clippers, came out and said that a lot of what they watched in Brooklyn kind of indicated why they wanted to make the move, because they're like at times that season, with Katie and with Kyrie, like they liked how James was able to handle himself without being the primary guy. And Tyronn Lue also specifically talked about James as a passer. And this is going to be fascinating to watch play out. And to you, let's say we're in the playoffs. It's a do or die situation. This is a do or die. No team is more do or die this season than the Los Angeles Clippers, for so many damn reasons, as that new arena is being built. Who initiates the offense for the Clippers?
It's going to have to be James Harden. I'm sorry. It just is.
Everybody on that team. That's
Yeah, he's going to listen. James Harden led the league in assists per game last year at 10.7. People forget about that because of what he did in the playoffs. He's going to have to get these guys going. He's going to have to facilitate. He's a great pick and roll player. So you can put Kawhi and Paul George in that pick and roll and just kind of play off of it. James Harden is going to be the one initiating the offense coming up, I think, in the playoffs. And then who do you want taking that last shot? It's still Kawhi Leonard. There's no doubt about it. This guy hit a Game 7 bounce shot to send them to the Raptors to the Eastern Conference Finals. He is a guy that's proven to be a clutch player. Paul George was clutch against the Lakers in this last matchup, but Kawhi is still the guy to go to. And I know Harden has had his clutch moments, but he's also had his non-clutch moments. So Harden will be the one initiating the offense, and the ball is going to find Kawhi Leonard's hands in these clutch moments, not even in the regular season, but in the postseason as well.
And I guess this leads to the big question, which is, in your opinion, how does this play out, honestly, in your opinion?
The Clippers don't have the wing depth to beat the Nuggets. They don't have any size to match up with the Suns or the Lakers. Like, we saw the Lakers play 3 centers and they dominated the Clippers. That's how they got back in the game and won. I would love to say that this is a finals team. I just don't see it. I don't think that they have enough size to compete with Denver, and Denver's on another level. I think their ceiling is probably the finals, but I think legitimately they're probably just a Western Conference Finals team, and the floor is another first round exit. I mean, this could go all wrong, Adrian. That's the thing with this Clippers team, is that you think they're all great, you think the hype is there, and then they just fall off a cliff guys get injured, something happens. There's a curse. I don't know if bringing in James Harden is going to reverse the curse, but it's worth a shot. I mean, this is the last year of these guys getting together. So,
Grant, you got 15 seconds, my man. Before we get you out of here, just let people know what you're doing this season and where they can get your content.
yeah, I mean, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff for the Sporting Tribune. You can find me at gmona48 on all socials. I post video content, do podcasts with Brandon, Baller Sports Dialogue. So we're all out there, man.
No, 100%. Grant, listen, thank you so much for joining us. And coming up next, we will be joined by Eddie Kingston, AEW superstar. Full Gear, their pay-per-view event, will be at the Forum November 18th, a few weeks away. And yeah, we get into CM Punk. We get into his championship reign, Eddie Kingston, that is, but also a super important conversation about mental health. And he was very open, very vulnerable. He didn't have to be. I'm gracious that he was. A great conversation with Eddie Kingston coming up. This is the Sporting Tribune today.